You can count, right? The federal bloodbath they don't want you to count. Let's start with the part they'd rather blur out. There is no official public scorecard showing exactly how many federal workers were pushed out by race, by sex, by white versus non-white, or by any neat little category that would make this easy to audit. That data trail is incomplete, and the public diversity data was removed from OPM's main public site in March 2025, according to the National Women's Law Center. But the numbers we can see are ugly enough. OPM's own workforce dashboard says the federal workforce is down 271,825 employees since January 20, 2025, with data updated through February 2026. OPM also says 138,541 employees took the deferred resignation program. In plain English, the government got smaller, fast. And here's the trick in the spin. That giant number is not all firings. Reuters reported OPM Director Scott Cooper said the government shed 317,000 federal employees in 2025, but only a fraction were fired. The rest were a stew of buyouts, deferred resignations, retirements, and people heading for the exits before the axe found their desk. Now here's where the story gets nastier. The federal workforce overall was about 46% women and a little over 53% men. It was also about 18.6% black, with Hispanic workers around 10.5%. But the agencies hit hardest were not random slices of America. They were places where women and workers of color were heavily concentrated. NWLC found women were majorities in targeted departments like VA at 64%, Education at 63%, Treasury at 61%, and HUD at 59%. People of color were majorities in HUD at 56%, Education at 54%, Treasury at 54%, and HHS at 52%. Black workers alone made up 36% of the workforce in both Education and HUD, about double their share in the federal workforce overall. Former Jacksonville Mayor Alvin Brown says Trump didn't just fire him, he illegally dumped him from the National Transportation Safety Board, one of the agencies that's supposed to be independent, not a presidential chew toy. Brown sued in federal court in Washington on June 4, 2025, after being removed from the board in May 2025. Brown's case is simple and brutal. NTSB members are supposed to be removable only for cause, things like inefficiency, neglect of duty, or malfeasance, and he says none of that happened here. Reuters reported Brown argues the firing was illegal and threatened the agency's independence. And then the story got even uglier. In December 2025, Brown amended the lawsuit to add race discrimination claims. AP reported Brown was the only black member of the NTSB when he was removed. So no, we do not have a clean government-issued breakdown that says, here's the exact body count, this many white workers, this many black workers, this many women, this many men. What we do have is something almost worse. A downsizing campaign crashing into departments where the workforce was already packed with women and people of color, while the public demographic dashboard was yanked away. That means anybody acting like they've got a perfect race and gender layoff total is selling you theater. The honest version is this. The exact breakdown is hidden by missing public data, but the hit zones are visible, and those hit zones were loaded with women, black workers, and other workers of color. No official ledger, no clean confession, just a shrinking federal workforce, a vanished diversity data trail, and a very convenient fog around who got cut first. On Friday, August 1st, President Trump fired Dr. Erica McIntyre from her role as the Commissioner of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS. In social media posts announcing and confirming her firing, he said that he believed the jobs report released by the agency earlier that day included numbers that were rigged in order to make the Republicans and ME look bad. Said despot Donnie, "That's the scandal. So this wasn't just a personnel move." Brown's argument is that Trump treated an independent safety board like it was another reality show cast list. You're fired, now lawyer up.